Portraiture is one of the vital pillars of art and art history. It documents one's identity and becomes a window into the story of that person. I am willing to bet that at one point or another you have attempted to draw someone. Or maybe portraiture is a genre you specifically like to do in your own art. Whether you are one or the other, there comes a time when we may want to improve on our portraits. Maybe the faces never look quite right, or it ends up looking like someone completely different. Today I am here to give you 5 tips that helped me exponentially improve on my own portraiture. Sup howdy, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Rumbo, yay! And for those who don't know me already, I'm an artist and a fine art student in South Africa, and I make videos just about that, so if that interests you, you might want to stick around and give me a subscribe down below. It has been a good minute since I have done a paint with me video, so today we'll be doing some self-portraiture with acrylic paint on canvas. As you can see, I opted for a more expressionistic background because I wanted to play with brushstrokes in these pieces, and I actually had a lot of fun doing that. But I also wanted this video to be of use to you, so today I'll be sharing some things that you can do to improve your portrait capturing skills. These are exercises that helped me throughout the years, and I am sure it will help you in your own journey. Before you get onto the video, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you're notified when next upload a video. I used to upload on Saturdays and Wednesdays, but I am experimenting with uploading on Mondays and Fridays, so because of that schedule change, you might want to keep my notifications turned on so you never miss a video from me. We finally hit our milestone of 1,000 subscribers, and to celebrate that, I am hosting a giveaway where I am giving 2 subscribers a drawing of them by me, as well as a digital print of one of my works. And to enter that, click the I above for more information. It is free 99. I initially had the deadline for the 28th of February, but I am moving it up until the 6th of March. So you have up until then to enter. It's very easy. So that's it and done. Let's get on to portraits. I feel like I need to start off by saying that all of these tips will be utterly useless if you're not practicing them regularly. Improvement goes hand in hand with consistency, so try and create a habit of practicing at least for a few minutes every single day. I saw my drawing skills jump astronomically in 2020 when I drew every single day for 30 minutes to an hour, and I am still thanking myself for that because those skills I developed then had helped me in other spheres of art, like sketching this face freehand before I began to paint it. Number 1. Draw less pretty faces. I mean, no offense to anyone, we are all beautiful, but I find it so fun to illustrate less conventionally perfect faces. Repeatedly drawing or painting the same kind of face will not allow you to improve as much as you'd like to. Sure, you can draw the same face to a T, but where's the fun in sticking to that? Looking at differently shaped heads, faces with birthmarks, wrinkles, sharp cheekbones, or softer jaws allow us to understand more about the human anatomy and physiology and the different ways that a human can appear. Find images of people with different looks and take the time to study how they each differ and the kinds of shapes you would need to create and render the face. I can talk more about shapes and drawing in another video, but for example, this person's nose may need a pointier and slimmer triangle base compared to this person's nose, which seems more like a trapezoid with a circle point. I like to go on Pinterest to search photography portraits, but make sure to dig through to find the real faces. Being able to render these, in my humble opinion, is a lot more cooler than a conventionally perfect and unrealistic face, but to each their own. Number 2. Draw from real life. I know I just talked about using Pinterest for photo references, but a great exercise to try is people watching. Pay attention to the people around you and notice the shapes their face makes when they emote. Maybe don't go staring into someone's soul, but the next time you're sitting in a park or outside at lunchtime, grab your notebook and start scribbling the faces you see around you. The sketches do not have to be pretty at all. This is great because it is the one and only chance you will have at finding people acting naturally and organically because they're not aware that they're being drawn. Now I do want to say that maybe try and keep this as just a drawing exercise because I'm not too sure of the legality of doing this for a public work, so just make sure to ask for consent for anything you intend on creating publicly. But don't quote me on that, I do not know anything about law. Alternatively, you could get a mirror and draw yourself in different poses and angles. Both are a yes from me. I have done this a lot because I had more control in making as many facial expressions as I could. Number 3. Rendering the face in different ways. One drawing exercise I like to do is to find different ways to construct a face. The first exercise could be to try and create different faces using only 5 lines. This will force you to look at the bigger lines that create different emotions, expressions, and figures. Another exercise would be to create a portrait using only shadows. Shadows and tonality are huge in creating form and shapes. It will help you understand how light falls on different parts of the face and how it changes the appearance of it. The last drawing exercise would be to time yourself to do rapid sketching, which is where you're forced to only jot down the basics in 1 minute or 30 seconds or however long. Like the first exercise, it makes you think about the general details of the face and what distinguishes it from another without getting distracted by specifics. Number 4. Draw what you see and not what you think you see. This has been drilled into me ever since I took art in grade 10 6 years ago. Our brains are warped. We may think that we know what we're drawing without actually looking at it, but 9 times out of 10 it will lead to an unnaturally small nose or gaping eyes or an ear that sits right next to the Adam's apple. Pay close and constant attention to what you're depicting and never try to guess what kind of stroke you should make next. When doing sketches, your eyes should stay on your paper no longer than 1 to 5 seconds. This is key to make sure that you know exactly what you're putting on a page. This tip is for getting traditional proportions correct, but just to clarify, there is no issue with having artistic freedom in how you depict a face. But if you are looking to secure those realistic proportions, then you are at the right spot. Before we get on to the last tip, if you're enjoying this, please leave a like as it greatly helps my YouTube channel. I am aiming to reach 5,000 subscribers by the end of this year, so please share this video with any of your artist friends. It will genuinely help me a lot. Number 5. Pay attention to proportions and measurements. Sit in front of the mirror and see how you can measure and draw your face. For example, the vertical length of my nose is the same length as my eye, or the distance between my eyebrows is half of my eye, and so on and so forth. I think learning proportions was my biggest grace when transitioning from grid making and tracing with a projector in school to a freehand approach. I find it best to compare one body part to another, so I'm not fussing with numbers. For example, 8 heads makes up one body. And if it's not a whole body part, just seeing the relative distance between different parts on the face. Take the same images you have been using for previous exercises and see how many different ways you can remember the sizes of the different parts in comparison to the rest of the face. You can also do this with your previous artworks or portraits of people you find online. Even if you are choosing to highly stylize your figure, it is best to still keep some sort of proportionality, and that's what cartoonists, animators, and the likes do. The reason why their characters still appear human-like, no matter how different from real life, is because those proportions still read human. These are my 5 tips to improving your portraits, and to remind you that these are only successful when you put them into continual practice. I'll be happy to do any other videos in this type of format if you have any questions on other stuff that I could advise you from. I am no art educator. I am just a fellow person learning like you, so I can only share as far as my expertise go, but I am definitely happy to share more about stuff like this. This is how the paintings turned out. I actually really enjoyed doing these self-portraits, and I am continuing to do stuff in this similar style. I'm going to finish here and say thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, like. If you like me, subscribe, comment down below, all that fun jazz, and until then,